Hi guys, it's Sebastian here from Noble Frugal Studio, coming at you guys with another video about Castle Dark. Today I want to show you guys with some tips about how to make your backgrounds for your animation series. Now, as you guys can see here, this is actually, I think it's the second to last scene in Castle Dark for our storyboard. So again, I feel like celebrating. It's been a lot of work. I was just doing some damage, laying out the first scene within a scene. So what do you do when you want to make a background? This question I was struggling with it for a long time. I didn't know how to make backgrounds in, not even just in OpenToonz, but in anything. I was kind of scared to start drawing them. But really, guys, the only way you're going to get good at drawing backgrounds is by drawing backgrounds. It's the way that I learned how to draw backgrounds, is by drawing the couple that I drew for Castle Dark, which is actually the reason I'm doing Castle Dark, so I can teach myself how to draw better. And it's been working. So I'm going to show you guys some footage, some speed footage of what I've been painting, and then the final product. It's the two baskets that the first one pie comes out of, and I wanted to paint the backgrounds for that, and it ended up very good. I didn't know how to do some of the lighting, but after that, after just going in there and trying it, it ended up really, really nice. As you guys can see here, I'm in OpenToonz. I'm actually using an older version of the OTX builds. Because the newer version won't let me record the screen. I was going to show you guys the newest version of OpenToonz and kind of show off, but it didn't really work. So there's that. So as you guys can see, I laid out this scene in a little bit of detail. I don't want to add too much, but you definitely want to have your backgrounds be detailed so that when you go into painting, I use the software Krita for painting because I'm making this completely free. I'm not trying to spend any money on software. You want to I usually take a screenshot of the layout that I did in OpenToonz and then use that as my reference for painting. So I have like the horizon line in there, so it makes it really, really easy. So right here, I already have most of this painted. I do want to add a little bit more detail. It's the background sketch that I'm going to be working on. Just a little bit more detail that I want in here. I wanted to add maybe some sticks or something on the side here that you can see. But basically, painting backgrounds is a skill. Like I said, you have to really just get into it to try to do. You can't keep observing. You just got to start practicing. I can't remember where I heard that, but I don't want to take credit for it. So there's that. There's some animation quote, but you really just got to get in there and start painting. By no means am I a professional artist, and so I've never really done backgrounds that much. I was always kind of scared. I always kind of shied away from them because they're really hard. They were really hard to me when I thought about them, and I just did not want to. I didn't want to think about that. I didn't want to spend time drawing backgrounds because they seemed a little daunting. But when I did do it, because I have to do it for Castle Dark, I just jumped in and it was fine. So don't be afraid to test the waters a little bit, guys. It's really not as scary as you think. Once you start getting into it, you'll start getting the flow. You'll start to relearn some of the things that you've learned in art. Like I relearned how to do perspective, drawing backgrounds. I know perspective from learning it in art class when I was a child, and learning it by myself when I was teaching myself how to draw. But then I relearned it again when I had to apply it to a situation that's kind of serious, which is the Castle Dark situation. Now, I didn't exactly tell you guys anything about why I'm still working on Castle Dark. I did say before that it was supposed to come out in 2018, but that actually did not happen. I was actually extremely busy and I didn't have any time to work on it. So what is the deal with Castle Dark? What are we going to do? It turns out that Castle Dark actually has to be done by January, the first day of 2019. The reason why, I can tell you guys another time, it's just not a story for right now, but I actually have to work on this and it has to be done by January of 2019, whether you guys see it January of 2019 or not. So it may be done, but I don't know if I'll post it exactly then, but that's actually when everything in this film has to be finished. I'm going to move on to the second scene right here so I can just start blocking this out. Yeah, so the reason why I will tell you guys another time, it's just not really a story for now. I could go on a whole spiel about it, but the deadline that I set, I actually was thinking, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about a video made by Howard Wimshurst where he says, when you set a deadline for animation, and usually it's set by someone else, my deadline is not set by me, so it means that I have to do Castle Dark or I'll be in quite a little bit of trouble. which actually helps because it makes me want to work on it. It makes you have to work on it, actually. It does add a little bit of stress, but that stress is good because if you want to become a good animator, it's a healthy kind of stress. And as long as you give yourself enough time, the stress will not become unhealthy. So that's all the things I have to say about Castle Dark. But for backgrounds, guys, what you guys want to do is that in the software that you're using, hopefully you're using OpenToonz and making our family bigger. In the software that you're using, I want you, it's good to lay out the background first so that when you go painting, you're not just kind of like lost in where to go. You want to lay out what exactly you're doing. So right now I'm laying out the scene. Pi is actually currently being dragged on this pathway right here. There's going to be houses here. He's being dragged because he was caught. Spoilers, sorry. I'll put a spoiler at the start of this video. You guys should know though. If you're watching the makings of an animation series, you're going to get a little bit of spoilers. I apologize for that. But you guys will all see it and will all be happy once it comes out anyway, despite all the spoilers I gave you. But Pi is caught. I'm not going to tell you what he's caught from or what he was actually doing because I've yet to show you guys a storyboard, at least part 5 and part 6. I don't think I've put on YouTube yet. So I think I might do maybe one at the end of this, or I might just show you guys the paintings. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see how this video ends. Pi's being dragged on this pathway, and he is going to be judged by the king, whether he should go to jail or he should be sent to the wandering boat, which means you go in the ocean and you basically never come back. So I'm going to draw some of these houses that are around because this is taking place in Town Square, and you're going to have all the reactions of all the other pigs in Town Square and all their peanut gallery opinions too. So I'm just going to quickly sketch out this, and really the perspective, it is quite important. However, what I've found is that when I go into the software, I end up rediscovering the perspective anyway. It's not really good to do it this way. It will save you a lot of time if you discover the perspective right now, and you will end up getting a better shot. But I think I've done pretty much of a good job of kind of eyeing where it's going to be. I do want to create an alleyway, actually right here. That's what I'm going to create, just a little bit of an alleyway. And there can be another shop. So you want to make it clear to the audience by making very rough and kind of can be crude drawings as what it is happening in the scene, and then when you go to paint, you know where not to paint a giant red flag that is going to draw your audience's attention, and where to draw that giant bodaciously flamboyant red flag. That's just an example of something that's going to definitely take your audience's attention. So I want to draw more houses. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to draw a wall. I think I want there to be a wall here that kind of separates the houses from this pathway that Pi is going to be sent on. Also, spoiler alert, Pi is sent on the wandering boat, which is the point of Castle Dark. It's actually how he finds the castle. So we'll be getting into more in the story in another video. If you guys are really interested, I can always tell you what the actual story is, but for now we're just focusing on the backgrounds and the drawings. So usually when you lay out a background, you want it to be as clear as possible. You don't want it to be overshadowing the animation because it is an animation, it's a cartoon. It's not a painting, it's not just a painting. We're talking about a cartoon here. We want it to be the main star of the show. So that's why in the backgrounds that I'm showing you right now is that you don't want it to be the main part, but it has to look beautiful. It has to look kind of nice so people are drawn in. The background I painted with the basket's actually my favorite right now. It is my latest one, so I guess that would make sense. I know these drawings that I'm doing now are very, very crude, and to me it's actually very, very annoying when I have to do drawings like this, or when I just want to block something out and figure it out later, because I like to spend a lot of time on things, but since this project does have a deadline, you don't want to have to spend time on things that you can do in a couple seconds. So I'll end up rediscovering all the stuff anyway when I go and create it and start painting it. So the real thing is why do it now. There are plenty of reasons as to why I should do it now, but time is money, and I don't have much of that. So I'm gonna start just blocking these out in however way I can, and then I'm gonna figure it all out later because these storyboards have to be finished very, very, very soon. So that's pretty much all the tips I have for background. It's looking pretty good. The project seems to be on its way. It does really have to be done by the first day of 2019, or I'm going to be in quite a pickle. So that's actually how I'm going to make this deadline work. The reason I've chosen this as a project is because I really wanted to become a better animator. And am I in a pickle? Yes. Am I happy? Absolutely. Because it's taking a little bit of a risk, a little bit of a sacrifice for your artwork. And if you guys think that's a cool idea to force yourself almost to get better at animation or whatever it is you're doing, I can support that. Well, at least I can now until 2019 drops by. So if you guys are wondering if I made a little cool title for the release date of Castle Dark, yes, it does have to be finished by 2019, but it might release either January or later in the year, just because of reasons. I can go over many reasons as to why I wouldn't release it once I was done, but I do want to make sure I market it quite well. So thank you guys so much for watching and sharing in these tips. And for my animation tutorials, please keep the suggestions coming. I want to make a lot of videos in one day. That's kind of what I do. I want to cram in one day and then edit them on another day, so I can keep relaying to you guys videos every single Monday. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry I didn't get to do a whole finished picture for you guys. I'm just kind of crammed as for time and working on Castle Dark. So I hope you guys can't wait to see it, because I can't wait to see it. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.